Burn begins typing out a message.
No.
It's up to Yvette if she wants to pull her hand away. She's going to begin typing out, "Are you still in Vancouver?"
Wait.
This Archan may have answers.
Where? But...
At the very least, maybe deserves to know their friend Sally is no longer with us.
Do it.
Friend sends it.
Because it's only been, like, a short while, relatively, right?
Yes, no. Well...
It's been several ticks now, but...
Yes. Actually, hold on. Captain, would you meet me real quick in voice 2? I need to, ask you something real quick.
Okay.
I fucked up. She should have arrived while they were on the computer, and I am not sure how to handle that now that I'm actually looking at it. I thought I knew when she showed up, but I'm looking at it. She would have showed up while they were dicking around on the computer.
Well, then she can show up now.
Okay, yeah, you think that's fine? That isn't too... Yeah, I guess it's not too fucking... Yeah, okay.
It's too... Wait. I wasn't... I was talking to you.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, now that I got your answer, I'm not too worried about. I was just...
you didn't actually ask me a question, and so I didn't give you a full answer.
You gave me an answer that I would... you did give me an answer that I was, satisfied with, though. But if you had more to say...
Ask me the full question.
What the fuck should I do? I fucked up.
No, alright, you asked, is that 2, and then you stopped.
Oh. I just thought it would, okay, I don't know. I thought it was too, I thought it would feel really unnatural and weird, but I guess it really doesn't.
I mean, you could either A, say that you made a mistake in the module and have that be on the recording so that no one thinks it's weird.
That's fair, yeah.
Or you could just say it's happening because ticks happened.
Yeah. I will say the full story, again, also just because I was going to say I decided it. The reason I just told Captain is because I was embarrassed, but I'm not that embarrassed anymore. I got over it. So I'm going to explain the situation. To explain it to you, Dame, technically she should have arrived exactly while they were dicking around on the computer.
Oh.
And started ringing the doorbell. So they would have heard a doorbell start ringing just a little before they read her messages.
Oh.
But then upon realizing that, I was like, well, now it feels really weird if it's just they read about this character's existence and then immediately she starts ringing the doorbell.
That's an organic coincidence happening from the
sort of, but technically it should have happened on tick. The reason it becomes a little less that is it should have happened on, looking at it now, it should have happened on tick 6. Well, and I thought she would have been gone by tick 5. I had completely misunderstood when she arrived.
Okay, well then just say that. Say this was supposed to happen on tick 6.
But was also when they were fucking around on the computer the first time, not the first time ticks were lost. Yes. She was supposed to show up and start ringing the doorbell.
Then say that. Say that, this was supposed to happen on tick 6, but it's happening now.
I'm just going to say that the fucking buzzer was broken, and so that's why instead she texted "let me in," which is also in there. That she texted "let me in." Please let me in. And then, so they type that message. Yvette said send it, and I am going to say that she responds with, "I'm still out here."
Okay.
Right? Shit. Doesn't that make sense? Because it's only been 2 ticks. She could have walked away also, but the point I'm making is that she arrived on time and has been buzzing and has been unable to get in.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, and I'm just making that call just also based on the fact that, I have never once been in an apartment and have very rarely interacted with apartments in which the buzzers actually work. Bernadette sends that message with Yvette's blessing, because Yvette gave her blessing, and there is an immediate response that's just, I'm still nearby. I can come back. I'm not that far.
Okay.
Are you at home? And all of these come very quickly.
Should we be honest? Or should we lie?
Tell her, come back.
I'll
go get her.
She responds very quickly, on my way.
Yvette is going to go to the door.
By the way, I'm imagining the buzzers are downstairs, like on the first floor, if that's not clear, like outside.
Yeah.
So is she going all the way down to or just to the apartment door?
All right, yeah, Yvette's going to the door.
Once again, downstairs or the door to the apartment?
Does she need to be buzzed into the building? Because they didn't have to be buzzed into the building.
They don't. However, she did not. My thinking is presumably she didn't try the fucking front door, and she's just waiting down there.
Okay. Yvette. All right. It might take a while for Yvette to even think that's a possibility. She'll go downstairs though.
I mean, I think eventually, she Vern would see the message, "I'm here," and then
the plane has landed. The chicken is in the basket.
Huh?
She's here.
She's not outside the door. I'm looking at the people.
Bro, maybe outside?
I will go look. Yvette doesn't. Maybe we can get some fucking investigation points out of this. Does Yvette smell anyone on the other side of the door?
Of the other side of the
apartment door.
Senses roll.
Yes, it's a full success.
It's fucking. This whole place smells like kitty cat. This whole place smells like kitty cat, and there is nobody outside that door.
Okay. Yvette, I'll go look for her. Yvette goes outside and looks around the hallway and goes downstairs.
She can see through the glass on the front door that the woman is standing outside.
Yvette is gonna go to the door and open it.
She sees, she could see this before. Yes. A very sharply dressed woman, hair pulled into a tight ponytail, kind of like a straining ponytail, though the ponytail part of the ponytail is not visible in the character art, but just trust me, there's a ponytail behind her neck, I suppose. Regardless, she's there. She looks a little bit put out.
Yvette opens the door.
She sort of blinks very clearly, confused, and then says, thank you. I'm waiting for someone, and then walks in past Yvette.
Where? It's open. Yvette is going to...
She actually stops when Yvette says that and turns around and squints at the door and then mutters, well, that's incredibly unsafe. And then turns around and continues up the staircase.
Yvette will say, ironically, where? Yvette is going to wait like a moment and then quietly follow her up the staircase with her natural quietness.
She walks up to the door and immediately just starts. When Yvette sees that she is slamming on the door or not knocking on the door very hard, how does Yvette react?
Yvette is going to follow behind her and tell her the door is open.
She stops and then turns around and actually no, she just immediately yelps, clearly not noticing at all that Yvette had followed her, and turns around sort of once again with that put out expression can I help you? And right as she does that, why is she saying that? The door opens and Byrne is at the other side. What does Byrne say when she opened the door? I'm sorry, I heard some sort of line. Or was that what?
I didn't have a line. She'll just say.
I thought you said something as Byrne opened the door. I'm sorry, she doesn't need a line. I thought I heard her saying something. Okay.
No, I think she just swings it open.
Yeah, makes sense.
Looks at who it could possibly be.
She sees the back of a very well-dressed looking blonde woman with a Very, very, very stern-looking ponytail, real tight, really keeping that shit on lock. But she's facing the other direction, away from her, so she doesn't get a whole lot about the woman's face because she is currently stanced up, sort of defensively, looking at Yvette, who is behind her.
Manager Chan, I presume.
And then she immediately whips back around to look at the person who answered the door, who is not. And what have you all done with Sally?
What have we done with Sally?
Go
what
inside.
have you done with Sally?
If you are
Sorry, 1 second.
Archan, go inside the apartment. We can talk.
She is sort of blusteringly, I haven't done anything. I just got here. Where? And then she, obviously Yvette is like talking at her, and she kind of turns around, sort of a stern looking, though strained expression, and says, or what?
Or I will make you go into the apartment. We need to talk to you.
It's about Sally.
Did Yvette roll a threaten with that?
She could.
Can I get a threaten?
That's a 10.
Yeah, I think her brow kind of twitches, and she eventually relents and says, fine. And sort of walks slowly inside.
Yvette comes in and closes the door.
She asks again, where is Sally?
Sally, Byrne taking initiative is gonna say, Sally's dead. And we're trying to figure out why.
Wait. I was asked by some of our friends to investigate her death. The police have ruled it as a suicide. After spending a few hours in her apartment now,
It's a load of horse shit.
we are not convinced. We are not convinced that it was self-murder.
She is just staring. She's got this, like, sort of almost squinting expression on her face. And she, like, pauses and takes out her phone and just, like, starts typing on it.
What are you doing?
Says, I'm looking up the news for local suicides.
Does Yvette, like, can Yvette see her phone?
If Yvette positions herself to see her phone, she's not trying very hard to hide it, but
Can
I don't
Yvette
think
see
she
her
would
phone?
naturally.
Can Yvette position herself to see her phone?
Yes.
Is that
Yeah,
true?
she can crane over. Yes, she literally is just doing that.
Okay.
And she stares at her phone for a little while longer. Eventually finding the obituary, and she just stares at it.
Or just stands there, arms crossed, giving her a moment. She knows they got nothing to hide.
Yvette stares at her.
It doesn't
Make any sense?
Not really, no. I suppose it's possible.
But it's possible.
I mean, that she would have killed herself. It just doesn't seem especially likely. I mean...
We do not think she has killed herself. What can you tell us about her? What is your relationship? You are a manager?
Yes. It's... I organize her schedule, meetings, sponsorship deals, merchandise, making sure she stays in line with company policy, that sort of thing.
So you work for Idolvector?
Yes.
And you know that she was planning to expose the unpaid wages?
Yes. I did. I was aware. I urged her to reconsider.
How much money does she make for the companies that you have come out here by plane?
It's not the only reason I came. I came because I was worried about her.
Okay. That is not the answer to my question.
She's fairly popular, one of our most popular streamers. If not the most successful of our streamers.
Where? Do you know anyone who would want to hurt her?
I mean, I know she had trouble with a fan.
Enough to take out a restraining order?
Yes, that sounds about right.
Anyone else?
She sort of blinks and squints and says,
I mean, and she's like quiet for a minute, and then eventually she says, no, not really.
Okay. Why is she not paid?
Idle Vector has a lot of money problems, poor management, bad decisions, too much growth too quickly. Most of our performers are getting paid significantly less than they were promised in their contracts.
Okay.
But technically, she would have been one of the ones who was cheaped out less than the others, technically speaking.
Okay. I'm trying to think what other questions could be asked that they don't already basically know.
Was there anyone in the company that had bad blood with her?
Well, I mean,
Was there anyone else in the company that has her address?
well, I mean, I had a key to her apartment, which had been
Why
That
do
is
you
to
have
say-
a key to her apartment?
she gave it to me.
Okay.
It was her decision, but to answer the other question, who else would have been upset with her? Obviously, everyone's been taking it pretty hard since she first said in a meeting that, and she sort of clams up and is quiet for a moment, and then presses onward and says that she was intending to go public with the dispute, the payment dispute. She was going to go public. Obviously, a lot of people in that meeting didn't love hearing that. Brad didn't love hearing that. It wasn't. She sort of sighs and then goes, Logic Cube, Brad Smithman, the CEO.
Okay.
He was the one who requested the key, and since technically it was given to the company, not given to me, obviously I had to give it to him.
Okay, so he had a key.
Yes, he would have had a key.
Where is he now?
Last I spoke with him, he was still at the headquarters.
In Texas?
Yeah.
Has he had any flights recently?
No.
Does he still have the key?
Would assume so.
What
I didn't
did he
really
request the key for?
I didn't ask. And she sort of has like a very pained looking expression on her face.
Yeah, she knows what Yvette is really asking.
Yes. I didn't ask. He's my boss, and it's technically just it's company property, so I didn't think about it. I didn't ask.
And you say that he has not had a flight.
No, he's been busy as ever.
Did you see him in Texas on the 24th?
She sort of blinks and clearly thinks about it for a moment and then says, yes, actually, he was having a video conference with an investor, and he had a question he needed me to answer. Nothing related to this, just...
But you saw him in person, not on the video.
I saw him in person, yes. I was in the office.
Is there a way that you could know if he still has the key?
I mean, I could ask. I could check if it's been put back in my office, but obviously my office is in Texas.
Where?
That's it. I could ask him, or I could check if the key had been returned.
Can you first show me your passport?
She sort of huffs and then opens her purse and starts rooting around. And pulls out a wallet and then some other crap, and then eventually pulls out her passport and hands it over.
Okay. Can you look at it? I don't know if this would be a roll at all. Does it say that she is who she says she is?
Yeah. The name on there is Rachel Wells Porter. She is an American, etc., etc.
Okay. And it's stamped with the correct Canada entry stamp for like today.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think that's a roll, personally.
Yeah. That is considering her options, is she's considering how loyal this woman is. And if it's worth the risk of tipping off Logic Cube that someone is seriously investigating him. Do you have a okay?
She responds, I was halfway to one when I suppose you all messaged me. So no, not yet.
Which one?
The value in.
Thanos the Cosette gets it.
She just sighs. And then she says, why? What?
So that we know where you are.
Look, I didn't even know she was dead. How much help can I realistically be here?
It is more like how much arm you can be.
Fine. You all can follow. I'm parked outside.
Okay.
She waits for a moment and then she says, are you all parked nearby or?
We will come with you.
We took a taxi.
She like sighs like a little more put out now. Wait, I'm sorry, so I'm
Driving you all there?
Where?
Actually, there's still a bedroom we haven't checked yet.
Oh,
Got
yeah,
no
like
really
yeah, like
thorough
Yvette is planning to
look.
come back to the apartment. She just wants to
Okay.
make sure that she wants to make sure that even though it seems kind of unlikely, she wants to make sure that Archan does not like run off, call Logic Cube and say like throw the key away.
Kill
They
everyone.
found us out.
Or kill the hostages now.
Yeah. Because if he goes down, she could lose her job as well, even if she doesn't have any particular like stake in the murder.
Moida.
Like she could still have some
Indeed,
incentive
was murdered.
to side with him, and could warn him of all sorts of shit.
Well, regardless, she just sort of says, fine, come on. And she starts walking out.
Yeah, Yvette follows her.
Got one of those gray rental cars, a hatchback. She gets into the driver's seat. Just sort of like glaring, like hands on the wheels, glaring ahead, waiting for the other two to get in.
Yeah, Yvette gets in the passenger seat.
Just riding shotgun. What's Byrne taking? Seat behind Yvette or seat behind the driver?
Seat behind Yvette.
All right. She starts the car sort of daintily. She's very careful about like checking her mirrors and shit, being super fucking careful with the car, and then slowly pulls out.
I can roll the ticks.
Oh yeah, feel free.
From what I rolled, I'm pretty sure this is going to be 0 ticks, but I'll double check the rule book. It will take 1 tick. Tick 9.
Yeah, should be. All right, they arrive at the Value Inn, and as one could have guessed, it's not like the nicest looking hotel in the world, but it's also not like disgusting or anything. It's just like a normal ass hotel.
Yeah.
And she pulls up to the little area, the little like drive-in part when you're first checking in that you go to before you park. And then she stops the car there. And she looks ahead as if she's like calculating something in her brain. And then she turns off the car and puts the key in her pocket and then says, "Wait here, I'm going to go check in." And then she gets out of the car and walks into the hotel.
Yvette fucking follows her.
She walks directly up to the guy at the counter, and she says, "Hi, I would like to reserve a room for tonight." Or not, I would like to reserve. I'd like a room, just 1 bed or 2, whatever's available, just for tonight, I think. And the guy behind there takes her ID and all of that, and they exchange money. And she turns around and she sees Yvette's there, and she goes, "Jesus!" And she blinks and then goes, "You should wear a bell or something." And then just like shoves past Yvette and keeps walking back to the car.
Yvette follows her.
And she gets back in the car, turns it back on, goes to a parking spot, and then gets out, and then fucking goes to the trunk, opens it. Is Yvette still following her?
Basically, yeah.
She shoves a fucking a particularly heavy looking suitcase into Yvette's arms, and then grabs some other bags.
Oh, if it's heavy,
and then what?
If it's heavy, you might not be able to carry it.
Well, it's like what do you call one of the luggage? It's like a normal big luggage thing, like heavy just in that it's like big and plastic and probably has the most stuff in it. It's not like full of weights or anything.
Yvette is minus 3 to 5 depending on the sunlight here. On
Shows
athletics.
off and carries it all by herself, winking at both of them while she lifts it with one hand.
Yvette's like if that is shoved into Yvette's hands, it is basically falling with her hands attached to it.
Oh.
Yvette, she just like watches that happen. And then I think Bird I assume picks it up with one hand and winks at the both of them.
Yeah.
And she just watches all of this with just like, slowly her face had like transformed from like fear over time to like pain, then to like kind of suspicion and aggravation, and it's just sort of settled into like fucking... She's just looks really fucking, like, annoyed and upset at this point.
She's going through the stages of grief.
Yeah, she's hit, like, some kind of acceptance for sure. And then leads them to the fucking hotel room. And then opens it. And walks in and starts setting her shit down. And just, like, turns to them and then goes, "Okay, now what?"
I wanted to make sure you are staying. How long are you staying?
I rented a room for a night. I mean, I can stay longer if you think. She just sort of sighs and she says, I can stay longer if you think I could be of some help.
Are you available by phone?
Yes, I am. I can give you my card. And she reaches into a breast pocket under the jacket, not on the front of it, and pulls out a business card, which she hands to Yvette.
Okay, Yvette takes it, and she's going to, on her own phone, like, text the number to make sure that it, goes off in her pocket or something.
Yeah, she hears like a between.
Okay. Where?
And she just sort of stares at them until they get out of her hotel room.
We'll be in touch.
Where?
Right.
She never gave, Yvette and Byrne never gave her, like, names.
No.
She was kind of like really fucking taken off guard by all of that.
Yeah.
I think that went just about like worse than like her worst imagination of what she could have possibly found coming here.
Yeah.
At least that's like the fucking vibe. She is like upset.
Yeah. Yvette is also gonna when leaving, gonna tell her, do not contact, do not mention this to Logic Cube.
She nods.
All right.